Hey there, fashion bosses. How are you doing today? All right. So, I thought I should show us how to make another way of making this trending Zara berets, spiral berets, boning berets, and whatever. Okay. You saw how beautiful this is. You see, she's happy. She's pretty. Okay, so we have videos already, two different videos on how to achieve this separately. Okay, you see, you can put it on in different ways. It's beautiful. All right, it's very beautiful. She's happy, she's pretty. All right, so if this is what you like to learn, stay to the end of this class. All right, I'm going to drop the link to the two different videos on how to achieve this differently on the description box. Okay, this will be the third one we will be making, different way of achieving this. Just going to be fast. So this is the boning. So we are using the plastic boning for it. The first two we made, we used the red line boning. Okay, and the measurements differs, like you already know, or if this is your first time, all you require is a stretchy fabric. Okay, so we have a stretchy fabric here. All right, so to get the band, okay, I will just fold it inwardly like this, using a 2 inches to fold, and then fold it in again using a 0.5 to create the band. Okay, so the measurement for this is the head circumference is 22 inches and the length of the band of the fabric is 30 inches. Okay, so I have 2 inches here, okay, for the band. So I pick it up like this and then I will sew. This is to create the band, so we don't have to make the band separately and bringing it back to join to the body of the turban, right? So you just follow it the way I showed you now. Okay, so I was saying that the measurement you require is 22 inches by 30 inches. So the head circumference area is 22 inches because we are using a very stretchy fabric, so that can pass. So the length, okay, which is to the for the body of the turban, is 30 inches. Okay, so after sewing the band parts, okay, this is the next thing we are going to do. Okay, you can see the band, it is ready. All right, so the next thing we are going to do now is to create a distance, a 2 inches distance from the band to this part I'm going to show you now. So measure 2 inches from that band line, 2 inches. Okay, as you can see, and then we'll start creating intervals. Okay, after measuring 2 inches, we are going to measure 1.5. okay, 1.5. So we'll be doing measure 2 inches, 1.5, 2 inches, 1.5. That 1.5 is for the intervals, the spacing. Okay, the 2 inches is where our boning is going to sit on. Okay, by the time we pick it to plait, it will reduce to 1 inch. Okay, so we are going to create 4 steps. Okay, so you have your first interval of 2 inches, that one doesn't count. After that, you measure another 2 inches, that is the one for your boning, and then measure 1.5 interval, measure another 2 inches for boning, that's 2 now, measure another 1.5 for interval, measure another 2 inches, that's 3, measure another 1.5 for interval, and so on till you get the 4 steps. So I replicate the same line on the other part of the fabric, like as you can see, and then I am going to use my ruler to connect the line from one end to another. or if I don't get to connect it, I will just eyeball it and pick it. Okay, so I pick the second 2 inches, because the first 2 inches is a spacing between the band and the first plate. So I pick the second 2 inches and I fold it into two like this. Remember, I told you that by the time you fold it, it will reduce to 1 inch. Okay, it becomes 1 inch on fold. When you open, it becomes 2 inches. Okay, and then I will sew it straight down to make the plates. Okay, hope you understand. I'll sew it straight down to make our first plates. All right, so I'm just trying to arrange it, but I will advise that you use a straight ruler to connect from one line to the other, that is from one end of the fabric where you have your lines marked out to the other end of the fabric where you also have your lines marked out. So after picking, I'm just using my tape rule to confirm that what I have is actually 1 inch being on fold. Okay, so I'll just continue sewing it down this way. All right, so hope you got the analysis. So you can either have 5 steps or 4 steps, not more than 5 steps, not lesser than 4 steps. Okay, and I've given you how to go about that. You can also do well to watch the other videos we have on these styles. In fact, is a lot. Okay, how to achieve this Zara beret or spiral beret differently. Okay, so we've made our first pleat. As you can see, this is the first plate. So you see the spacing between the band and the first plate. So we'll leave our 1.5 inch, which is the spacing, as you can see, and then I will go to the other second. I'll go to the next 2 inches, fold it and sew it down to get the second plate. So I'm just using my tape rule to confirm this, that it is 1 inch when it is on fold. Okay, because I did not do a connecting line. I did not mark a straight line from one end to the other. Okay, so you can either do it this way or you mark a straight line to give you a guide. Okay, so this is the second plate we are picking. All right, I will also show you a glimpse of the other styles we made from the previous tutorial videos, so you have, an insight or an idea of what the other tutorial videos are like, so you can actually go watch them, because it just makes you all rounder being able to make the style differently. Okay, because this very pattern we are making now will not give us the other different style that came from this Zara cap or this Zara beret. Okay, so there are different method. The method is a bit different, the measurement is a bit different. So we've picked our third plate. We are going right now to pick the last plate. Okay, we are picking the last plate now to make it 4. I told you it's 4 steps we are looking for, right? So I just continue confirming and stitching, right? You do well to like, share, subscribe to this channel for more tutorials. Okay, Here on this channel we upload sewing tutorials, headwear tutorials, and then short African videos. Okay, so we have our 4 plates. As you can see, this is our boning. I'm going to give you the measurement. They are measuring differently. Okay, so the first one, no, this is not the first one. So this is the first one, and it's measuring 30 inches. Okay, it's measuring 30 inches, right? So keep that aside. I go to the second one, and it's measuring 28 inches. I keep that aside. You can use that 28 or 27. I go to the third one, and it's measuring 22 inches. And this is the last one, is measuring 13 inches. Okay, so those are the 4 boning. Please take note of those measurements. All right, so the boning is going to be in an ascending order. The 30 inches will be on the first plate, the 28 inches will be on the second plate, the 22 inches will be on the third plate, and then the 13 inches will be on the last plate. Hope you get that. So what we are inserting now is the 30 inches. The next one will be 22. The next one will be 28 rather. The third one will be 22. The last one will be 13. So we insert it this way. As you can see me do, you see it's forming already. And then I will use my hot glue gun to hold both ends of the boning together. Okay, if you don't have an hot glue gun, you can use a very strong thread. You can double, triple, quadruple your thread and use it to tie it very firmly. Okay, if you don't have a hot glue gun, because this boning is not sewable. So I glue it together, okay, like this. I will go on and do the second, third, and fourth one, and then come back to us. So here we are, guys. I've inserted all the boning. I've already run the procedure by you. The 30 the first, 28 second, 22 third, 13 last. So come here now, and then we'll start pulling our fabric, okay, to the parts of the boning that we glue together, which happens to be the back of this turban. Okay, so we'll pull the fabric firmly, giving it this firm look, you know, neat look. And that's where the beauty actually is, guys. As you can see, I will keep pulling. For the first one, we don't have so much to pull, okay, but subsequently there is so much to pull, especially for the second and last one. So after pulling and I see that it is firm, I will use my needle and thread, matching thread please, to sew the excess fabric that I pulled together. Okay, I'll just use it to sew it, tack it, okay, so that the parts of the spiral turban area, what did I just say, will look very neat, firm and smooth. Okay, yes, so I just sew, tack the excess fabric that we pulled. Okay, I tack it, okay, so that that firmness will be sustained. Okay, so we do this to the remaining 3 steps. All right, if you've watched this video to this point, please do well to subscribe, like, share, give a thumbs up, guys. I really brought this down to the minimum bearing by creating 3 different tutorial videos on how to achieve this differently. You should applaud me, right? You should applaud me. Okay, 3 different tutorial video on just this one style. So there is no way you will not know how to produce this style. So I go to the second step and then I pulled. You see, you will just know that you are done pulling, okay, because your eyes is seeing what you are doing. Do you see how it is looking beautiful? forming properly already, guys. Oh, this is beautiful, beautiful, right? I just pull, and then when I know that I am satisfied with what I've gotten, I just go ahead to tack the excess fabric together, leaving the turban area, the spiral area for me, firmly and smoothly looking. Okay, hey guys, sometimes we don't have English to explain all of this, kindly pardon us. Okay, so I just basically tack and tack and tack. Okay, you see how it is coming up and coming out. It's beautiful, it's beautiful. Give a like, give a share, give a thumbs up, subscribe, subscribe. If you watch this video and you are not subscribed to this channel, my heart will not be happy with you. Yes, you that is watching this. Some of you just come, you download without even subscribing. I'm not saying you should not download, but do well to subscribe and give a like. It's the least you can do. Okay, it's the least. You download somebody's intellectual property without even acknowledging, by giving a like or a thumbs up or a share, and appreciation is not good. Odirama is not good. Koda. Okay, so we continue. I've done the second. I've pulled everything. Okay, so you will notice some holes, in between, the steps. I'm just going to use my needle and thread, okay, and do a gather stitch. Okay, I just put my needle in between those holes, okay, and sew the fabrics and do a gather stitch. Okay, just watch what I'm doing. So I'm going to cut off some parts of this fabric because it's seeming so much. Okay, I'm going to cut off some parts of it. So this suggests that if you don't necessarily have to use a 30 inches for the length, you can use either a 28 or a 27, but how be it, I'll rather you finish up and see what is left and cut it out so you don't run into fabric shortage. So I'll just sew this end together, that part that we cut off. I'll just pull a gather stitch like we usually do for our regular turban. I'll pull the gather stitch, okay, on the inner parts of the turban, and then I'll tack when I'm done pulling, when I'm done picking the plates or stitching. I'll just pull a gathers. You see what the outer look like, the same way that we usually pull gathers for our regular turban, guys. If you have a serger or an overlocking machine, you can overlock the edges. As a matter of fact, you should overlock the edges. Okay, you should overlock all 3 edges before you sew, okay, so that the work will be very neat on the inside when you are done. Okay, so we are done with the inner part. I just go ahead to cut off excess fabric. So this is what the outer part looks like. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead right now to pick a gathers, covering those holes, pulling a gathers, just passing my needle in between the space, okay, and then I will use it to pull a gather so that that place will be properly covered. Okay, I just pull the fabric together and so basically loose stitch so that we can pull, just passing my needle. Okay, the intention is to close up those opening around that area. So I just neatly pass my needle in between, under the spiral, go to the next step, pass my needle, and then once I'm done, I will pull it as a gather, bringing everything together. So this part now, you can choose to, this back part where we have all of the rough work, the finishing, it's not advisable to leave it like this. It will rubbish your effort. You see the cap is looking very beautiful. So you can just create roses. You can cover it up with any decoration of your choice, trimmings, appliques, okay? And then you can embellish the tip of the boning, just use trimming to embellish the tip, the edge of the boning roundabout, okay, to give it more beautiful appearance. All right, so once I am done tacking or passing my needles through, I pulled as a gather, and now I'm stitching. Cut off excess thread, okay, just trying to knot the end of my thread. So I will come to this band area, this circumference area, put it together like you can see me do right now, and then I will measure, okay. So I'm going to use a head circumference of 10 inches, okay. I have to get my tape rule. All right, so I'm going to use a head circumference of 10 inches. On fold, when it's open, is 20 inches, okay. 10 inches because the fabric is extremely stretchy, so that it sits firmly on the head, and then I'm going to sew the excess parts, okay. Use a measurement of 10 inches, okay. On fold, it means it will be 20 as against the 22 or 23 inches we usually use as head circumference. Hope you understand. When you're working with a stretchy fabric, you are always at liberty to reduce your measurement either by 1 inch, 1.5 or 2 inches, depending on how stretchy the fabric is, okay. Because if you do not reduce it, the outcome will look very slack, okay, on the person, okay, to not be firm. So I'm done, guys, producing this beautiful piece. This is what we have. I'm sure you've seen the outcome on the footage, okay. You saw the lady, she's pretty, she's happy and all. So I notice an opening here. I'm just going to tack, okay. So I'm going to run my stitches through the rings so that I can pull on other gathers, okay, bringing all of the steps together at this point, okay. That's what I'm doing so that it will not be scattered. So I just pull past my needle, loose stitch, and then I pull together, bringing all of the steps together, and then I will tack them together, okay. That's what I'm doing. It was a bit hard. I have to use my beading plier to pull out the needle so it does not break. So I'm tacking it together so that all of the steps, okay, will stay in place, one place. It won't be as open as this frontal part is, okay. So we are going to embellish this back parts, okay. So I have this roses I've made or whatever. So how did I make this? I cut a width of 4 inches and a length of about 30 inches. I run a loose stitch on the middle and then I pulled together. That's how I achieved this design that I'm using. It's not difficult. I just gave you the process, okay. and it came out really, really, really well. So I made two of it so that it covers properly and then gives me the kind of beauty that I want. So I'm just going to go ahead right now and stitch this, sorry, and glue this to the turban. Okay, so at this point nobody will know what's happened at that back. They just see it as a decoration. Okay, so I use my hot glue to finish it up. So guys, if you've gotten value from this tutorial video, do not go away without subscribing, without liking, without sharing, and then without giving a thumbs up. Okay, God will bless you as you do that. God will still bless you regardless, even if you do not subscribe, but I will appreciate you more if you subscribe. Okay, so you see, it's beautiful, it's beautiful, it's beautiful. So this is the second one. I'll just go and then glue it like I did to the first one. Okay, you see how beautiful it's looking. And then guys, this is the outcome. Is it this lovely? Isn't this lovely? It's beautiful, right? You see, it's very beautiful. So try it and let us see what you came up with. You can join our Facebook group at Fashion Boss Innovation and submit what you were able to do. Follow us on Instagram, follow us on TikTok, and then on Facebook as well. And then do not go away without subscribing, so you can wear it in different ways, guys. All right, guys, I'll see you guys in the next tutorial. Okay, bye bye for now. Bye bye.